Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're all having a good week. Got through most of the check-ins. I'm heading back down to the lobby to do a little bit more work. You can kind of see it behind me. Let's see if I can adjust this. Boom! You see it? That is Rincon, or not Rincon, Arenal volcano. And we're on day 2 here. We're heading back home tomorrow, which is good because I'm looking forward to getting back in the swing of things. But got a lot of check-ins, and everybody's doing well, and everybody's kind of kicking around and staying on track, which is really good. We got one more week to go, guys, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about headspace and what you guys have signed up to do and what you're capable of doing. I remember, like when I was younger, I was a really hyperactive child. I moved around a lot, and I was constantly going. And I think because I wasn't the kind of kid to focus so much in school, people thought I was unintelligent or I was dumb. So I remember some remarks kind of making a lasting impression on me. Like Matt, you're dumb. You know what I mean? And this kid's dumb or whatever else. And in association to that, I thought I was unintelligent. And that's how I lived my life. And it wasn't that I was unintelligent. It was that I listened to what other people had to say, and I listened to the thoughts in the back of my head that other people, helped kind of facilitate, and I allowed to manifest. And then I got a little bit older, and people, I was a bit of a chubbier kid until I hit a certain age, like 15, 16, when I finally, as we talked about, when I finally discussed, I decided that I didn't want to be the fat kid anymore. But people labeled me fat, and I didn't really know I was fat. But then in my own head, as soon as somebody said that, I was fat, you know. And and there's been so many times in life where um, people will tell you what you are or who you are or how you're supposed to live your life. And and it's funny because I always liken that to, we're all just scared children. And scared unless somebody's been there, unless somebody's done it. They've got no right to put ideas in your head about who you're supposed to be or where you're supposed to be, or who you are, or whether you're overweight or whether you're underweight. Or we just, I guess what I'm getting at with this is we get these ideas embedded in our heads from other people, and it's primarily from other people or other experiences, that we're supposed to be this way or we're supposed to be that. Well, what I found out when I eventually grew up a little bit, and probably around grade 10, I found out that I was smart. I found out that I just wasn't interested, and I had a lot of energy, and I started getting, good marks. I went through a bit of stuff. I ended up moving out of my house at a relatively early age. I would have been probably 15 or 16 years old when I went to live on my own. And my last couple of years in high school were interesting for that reason, because I didn't have the discipline at the time. But I went back to university later, and I did probably 3 years of a BCom, and I straight A's in school, and I realized, hey, I am smart. These ideas in the back of my head aren't true, and what people have been telling me isn't true. And when it came to athletics, when I first started working out, I wasn't super athletic. I had to work my ass off. I had to work harder than most people did to stay in shape, and I did that. And what I came to realize is that I'm not out of shape, and I'm not a bad athlete. I ended up playing rugby for Newfoundland. Um, I was captain of my school team, and I started growing into myself. But for so many years, I had allowed these ideas of what other people told me I should be or how I should act permeate. People would say, like, especially when I had some stuff happen with my family and I was forced to move out on my own. When I was younger, and my grades kind of went downhill, and I was kind of doing my own thing. I was in the stage of independent thinking, we'll call it. We won't get too far into that, but it was an interesting time in my life. And people said, you're never going to amount to anything. You're going to be a fuck up for the rest of your life, Matt. And I believed it. you know. And then I I went on to working, and I became a commercial diver. I eventually went back to university, and I enjoyed university, but I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I was doing business commerce, and I realized after doing a work term that it wasn't the kind of world that I wanted to be a part of. I didn't want to sit around the locker, or sit around the water cooler talking about what time, what the coolest color tie was. And I realized that, so I went off, and I quit school, and I did a few different things. I was an underwater construction diver for a little while, journeyman carpenter. journeyman scaffolder, and when I was just getting into those trades, once again, people told me, Matt, you're a scaffolder, you're not going to be anything, and for a while I allowed that to permeate. And then I started, what I started really realizing, what I realized these days is that everybody has an idea of how you have to live your life or who you are. And the biggest tragedy of all is when we listen to those voices inside of our head and we listen to those people who tell us what we have to be. You know what I mean? I, I eventually, I kept scaffolding. I climbed up. I got my first year, my second year, my third year. I completed the program, and then pretty quickly I was asked into management roles. So I became a foreman. People said, "Well, you're only ever going to be a foreman scaffolding," and I was offered GF, and I moved up just to. I had an offer for superintendent when eventually I left, and I just kept thinking, like, what's next? What's next? And I didn't listen to the voices inside my head, and I didn't listen to what people told me that I should be, or who I should be, or how I should be. And this all applies to fitness too, because there's so many people in our lives. And who we are today doesn't define who we have to be tomorrow. You can make a choice. The beautiful thing about this life is that you can make a choice on any given day to do things differently. And that's kind of progressively what I've done to be here. I built I left scaffolding, I got into safety, and people said, "Oh, you're doing safety? You're never going to be anything in safety." And sure enough, you hear the thunder in the distance. Sure enough, I moved from safety. I got some education behind my belt, and I got into health and safety. I started off as a junior advisor, and people were like, "You're never going to be, you're never going to last. You know, safety. You're never going to be a safety." And I moved up from junior advisor to intermediate advisor. I moved into night shift lead, day shift lead, and eventually into safety manager. And I ran some pretty big safety programs for people. And I'm not sitting here bragging. What I'm trying to explain to you is that life is a progression. And it doesn't matter how old you are or what stage of the game you're at right now. The only thing stopping you from achieving everything you want, both in fitness and in life, is your own imagination. And it's the ability to believe in yourself. You know, um, there's not a damn thing that we can't really do in life. Like, there isn't much that you can't achieve if you just believe that you can achieve it. And you spent the last 5 weeks believing that you can achieve a better body over the course of time. People thought I was crazy, when I left a job that I eventually worked my way up to, and I was managing safety programs and I was making big money working for big oil companies, but I wasn't happy, man. I was just miserable. And I was always away from Senya. And then when I had a really close friend die, and it put some things back in my head, and I realized all this time that I was sacrificing away from my family. Time is the only resource we have, and it's finite. Not a lot of resources in life are finite, but time is. So I I we made the leap, and people said, "You're crazy. You're leaving a sure thing. You'll be back in 2 months. You'll be back in 3 months." And I still have people saying, "You're going to be back. You're coming back. I know you're coming back." But the truth of the matter is I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back because I stopped listening to the people around me. I stopped listening to those voices inside of my head, and I made a choice. I made a choice, and and the beautiful thing is thanks to guys like you, I'm able to live my dream every single day just because I thought that I could. And the same applies to what you guys are doing with fitness today. There's so many, we're such delicate creatures emotionally, and we just deal with so much emotional venom from people around us and self-doubt. And when you can start to move yourself away from that, the only thing stopping you from doing amazing things is yourself, and it's the honest to God truth. And it's the it's the voices that are inside of your head, and it's yourself that's holding yourself back. All you have to do right here, right now, and a lot of you guys have already done this, if not all of you, is just make a decision. Make a decision to yourself that you're going to be in the best shape of your life because you want to feel better about yourself, because you want a good future, because you want to be around longer for the people you love, because you want a better quality of life, because you want to be healthier, because you want to age gracefully. All you have to do today is make that decision. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I am living proof of that. That if you see it up here and you ignore all the white noise and you just set your head down and you make that, I'm trying not to swear, you make that fucking decision, you can achieve anything. And fitness is just one little thing. It's just one little fleck in the grand scheme of life, but it's all manageable. It's all manageable. There's nothing from stopping you from getting the dream physique that you want. There's nothing from stopping you from living the life that you want. The only thing stopping you from living your dream and from getting that perfect body is you. And I know that sucks. I know that sucks because it puts a lot of accountability on you. But the truth of the matter is, that's where the accountability is. You know what I mean? I'm lucky enough to work with you guys, and I've given you guys a pretty good recipe, and we've made some tweaks, and everybody's doing really well. But the only thing that's stopping you from getting that dream body and getting you that dream life and getting you that self confidence and helping you live longer so you can spend more time with family and eating better so you're mentally more cognitive is just the decision. So you got 1 week left, guys. 1 week left. And listen, I made good money doing what I did in the oil field, right? The beautiful thing about this is it allows me to live a dream. But the thing that I really love more so than anything else is being able to help people. And what I'm trying to say today is the only way to help yourself is to make the decision and ignore all the white noise, because people are going to talk, people are going to say things, people are going to give you shit, people are going to throw doubts at you because they're scared themselves and they have their own insecurities. And that's fine because it doesn't matter. If you can learn to drown all that stuff out, see it up here, you can accomplish anything. And that's not bullshit, man. I'm not special. I'm not hyper intelligent. I don't belong to Mensa. I'm just stubborn, man. I'm just stubborn and I believe in myself. The same way you guys should believe in yourselves. We got 1 week left, guys. I want you to kill this. I want you to kill this, not just for me, but for you and for your family and for your longevity and for your self confidence. And it's just one more thing that you can just put in a cup and say, that in my life, I control that. Because the truth of the matter is, you do. So, anyway, wanted to leave you with that, guys. Hopefully, you enjoyed the view there. It's been incredible. I'm going to be back in the thick of things with you guys. I'm going to be going through my recovery plan from vacation with you guys. And I just hope everybody's having a good day. If you didn't get me a check-in yet, please do so. I'm waiting for it. And if you haven't got a response back, or if you're missing measurements or whatever it might be, then no big deal. Get it to me. I'll get you your check-in back. I'm going to be driving tomorrow, but I'll be home and settled. And I'm going to show you what you can do in a week. I'm going to show you guys what you can do in 1 week of really putting your head to it. And the amount that you're able to transform your body if you really just put your mind to it. And you guys have, like, the stuff that I've seen from you guys is amazing. You know, everything from attitude transformations to physical transformations, and it's a beautiful thing. So I think it's also important that I express gratitude to you guys because I'm not special. And I believed in the business and I believed in what we were doing, and from that has manifested this. So imagine if you take the time to believe in yourself. I'm not special. I'm not smart. I'm not anything. I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn and I make decisions and I stick to them. So just carry that into the last week, guys. I really appreciate everything. I appreciate having you guys around. I appreciate you guys joining me. I appreciate you guys putting your faith in me. It means more to me than you'll ever realize. Because of that, I'm able to live my dream and I'm able to do something that deeply matters to me and that I enjoy. And I want to see you guys get the best out of you. So take this week and make it great, guys. You know, I'm watching and I'm cheering you guys on. And if you need anything, I'll message away. I'll see you guys soon.